Did you know that the ancient Egyptians worshipped over 2,000 gods and goddesses? Each deity had a specific role, from controlling the sun to overseeing childbirth. The most famous among them was Ra, the sun god, who was believed to sail across the sky in a boat every day. The ancient Egyptians believed in life after death more than life itself. They spent their entire lives preparing for the afterlife. Tombs weren't just graves, they were eternal homes, complete with food, clothing, tools, and even board games like Senet for entertainment in the next world. One of the most mysterious practices of ancient Egypt was mummification. It wasn't just for pharaohs. Nobles, animals, and even pets like cats, dogs, and monkeys were embalmed. Cats were especially sacred and were associated with the goddess Bastet. Killing a cat, even accidentally, was punishable by death. The pyramids of Egypt are among the most iconic structures ever built, and we still don't fully understand how they were made. The Great Pyramid of Giza is made of over 2.3 million blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons. There were no modern machines, cranes, or even wheels. How they transported and lifted these stones remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Ancient Egyptian medicine was incredibly advanced. They performed surgeries, set broken bones, and used honey as an antibacterial treatment. Some of their remedies, like the use of garlic for infections, are still relevant today. They even had medical textbooks written on papyrus scrolls. Hieroglyphics, the writing system of ancient Egypt, was both an art form and a language. It wasn't fully deciphered until the Rosetta Stone was discovered in 1799. Before that, the language of ancient Egypt was a lost secret for over 1,400 years. Pharaohs were not just kings, they were considered living gods. They were buried with treasures, weapons, food, and even servants to serve them in the afterlife. The most famous tomb ever discovered was that of Tutankhamun in 1922. It was nearly untouched, packed with gold artifacts and incredible riches. Despite being one of the oldest civilizations, ancient Egypt had a surprisingly egalitarian society. Women could own property, start businesses, and even divorce their husbands. Some even rose to power, like Queen Hatshepsut, one of the most successful female pharaohs in history. One of the strangest discoveries in ancient Egyptian tombs is that of tiny boats. Egyptians believed that the dead would need transportation in the afterlife. These model boats were fully detailed, complete with miniature rowers, sails, and gear. The ancient Egyptians had a fascination with time. They invented one of the world's first calendars based on the lunar cycle and the annual flooding of the Nile. Their year had 365 days, just like ours today. The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. Without it, the desert would have swallowed the civilization. The annual flooding deposited rich silt, making the land perfect for farming. Every aspect of Egyptian life revolved around the river, from agriculture to religion. Egyptian architecture went far beyond pyramids. They built massive temples like Karnak and Luxor, filled with towering columns, carved walls, and sacred pools. These structures were perfectly aligned with the stars, showing a deep knowledge of astronomy. The Sphinx remains one of the most enigmatic monuments in the world. Carved from a single block of limestone, it features the body of a lion and the head of a man, possibly Pharaoh Khafre. Some believe there are hidden chambers beneath it, but we haven't yet explored them all. Ancient Egyptians wore makeup not just for beauty, but for protection. They used kohl around their eyes to shield against the sun's glare. They believed it had magical properties to ward off evil spirits. Both men and women used cosmetics daily. They were also pioneers of fashion. Linen was their fabric of choice, and their clothing was simple yet elegant. Jewelry was a big part of their attire, made from gold, turquoise, and lapis lazuli. Jewelry often symbolized power or protection. Animals played a huge role in Egyptian culture. Crocodiles were feared and revered. The god Sobek had a crocodile head, and was worshipped for protection. Sacred ibises, baboons, and even scarab beetles had religious significance. Did you know that ancient Egyptians brushed their teeth with crushed eggshells and pumice? They had one of the earliest dental care systems, but their high-sugar diet from dates and honey still led to dental problems. The Book of the Dead was not a single book, but a collection of spells and instructions. It was designed to guide the soul through the afterlife. It included tests and rituals, like the weighing of the heart ceremony. In this ritual, your heart was weighed against a feather to determine your fate. Music was a vital part of Egyptian life. Harps, flutes, and drums were played during ceremonies, religious events, and daily entertainment. Dancers and musicians held respected roles in society. Egyptians believed in a concept called Mat, the principle of truth, balance, and order. It guided everything they did. Even the pharaoh was seen as the keeper of Mat. He was responsible for maintaining harmony in the land. And finally, even though ancient Egypt fell to foreign invaders like the Greeks and Romans, its influence never truly disappeared. From architecture to religion, language to science, the legacy of ancient Egypt continues to fascinate the world today. Don't forget to subscribe